Episode 3 is coming to its end as we enter the trial of faith.
Reassure me, we aren't going to have to force that one, are we?
I don't think we're even capable of doing it. You're going to have to find a way to open it.
Why, of course. And what's inside?
Something to vanquish them with?
Perfect. So, how does it open?
We'll need several keys. I found a note from the architect who conceived the mechanism in Mortimer's secret study. We have to first gather 5 objects before we try anything.
Are the 5 objects the keys?
Exactly. We have the Clement III cross, the nails, the Gutenberg Bible, the exegesis of Judas, an armillary sphere, and all we need to match up the dates between the different calendars.
Oh, that's all we need. Oh, the note from the architect. I thought he was talking about a door in the secret room. The architect was actually talking about something else. He was talking about this place, I guess. I saw the nails in Mortimer's secret room.
Some nails?
Don't ask me. I'm not the one who made the mechanism, you know. When I arrived, there were already a few of them inserted, so I didn't have to worry about those. On the other hand, I remember seeing some in Mortimer's secret study, behind his nightmare.
And a golden cup? Yes. Yes, I saw them too.
Perfect. It will be easy for you to find them then. You need 3 of them.
Very well.
You remember what to do about the rollers. 1191 to enter, and 6466 to exit.
Of course.
So I guess we're going back in there. I'm just typing down 1191 because I was thinking, am I going to need to remember what the year was for that? Because I don't, but it was 1191. A cross?
Why a cross?
Well, I haven't the foggiest idea, but it just so happens that's what you are going to use to activate the mechanism. I found the one Mortimer kept. It belonged to Cardinal Guibert, better known by the name of Pope Clement III.
Perfect. Where is it?
Unfortunately, I've lost it. When I lost my hand, I went dashing out, and it must have fallen from my pocket.
Yeah. And where was that? All right, 0 points for psychology.
Remember, Mother. I'm certain you can remember.
Let me think.
You were running.
I was bleeding to death.
You remember the pain.
I thought I was going to faint. Yes, I remember. I don't think it can be far, can it?
Would you have lost it outside?
No, I don't think so. It must be in the area. I don't remember going up with it.
Perfect. I'll search the crypt before leaving.
What a great use of psychology. The exegesis of Judas.
An exegesis.
Exegesis,
Anything else?
of course.
Did you manage to vanquish the Medusa?
To open the chimney? Yes, absolutely.
So you've already come across it. It's the Bible of Judas that is exposed in the secret room behind the chimney.
Why do they call it an exegesis?
Because that's what it is, and not an apocryphal Bible, strictly speaking. It's the study of a text with a summary, not an actual Bible. Anyway, well done for the Gorgon. You did well. You didn't get tricked by the light bouncing back.
Thanks. Do you think I can take it safely?
We haven't got a choice, Louis. Without it, we won't be able to work out this cursed mechanism.
All right, gotta go back and get that. Others? I remember seeing the Bible. It was in the Bible room.
This is the book in which you left your correspondence with Duchess Hillsborough, isn't it?
That's right.
You still believe it's in the tower room, don't you?
I don't know. There is only one way to find out, though.
Right. I shall go and see.
An armillary sphere.
There's one in the portrait gallery.
Yes, but it's enormous. If you don't want to have to go back and forth several times, then I suggest you get a smaller one.
What did you do then?
I didn't think I'd need one. I started without one, and I lost my hand before I did need one. And you can see the result.
Yeah, where does the blade come from? Just looking at this thing, maybe it would be helpful to know where, like, the hand-cutting blade actually emerges from. Dates?
What do you mean by the concordance of dates, exactly?
Don't worry about that. We already have them. They are written on the back of the message I just gave you.
All right, I guess that's everything.
One last thing before you go. Be very careful. If you come across anyone, they can all potentially be spies of Mortimer or Holm. Don't ever confide in anyone because a demon can slip inside them at any moment.
Wait, not all of them, though. Take Washington.
Especially Washington. He's been conditioned by Mortimer for years. Look at them, for crying out loud. How do you explain their behavior otherwise? The most influential politicians in the Western world gather together without the least protection, without a single aid to assist them, to participate in a conference during which the guests start dropping like flies. Me, Adams, Peru, Hillsborough. Look at the number of calamities that have happened over the past few days.
Wait, Elizabeth's not dead.
One of them has asked to leave the island? Do you find that normal? You'll see. Go up to the manor to look for the keys, and I wager not one of them will speak to you about my being in Emily's room.
Do you think so?
Go on, you'll see. And come back with all the objects in one go. Time is against us. And remember, the code to get out of the secret office is 6466.
All right. So, I guess demons can possess anyone at any time. So it's not just Mortimer and Holm, but demons can be in anyone. I have no way of knowing who and when. But yeah, she mentioned Adams, but Elizabeth, as far as we know, is not dead. We told her to leave the island, and she did, apparently. We haven't seen a dead body. All right, what are we got 3 we can read. Erudition, agility, erudition, questioning. Why don't we get some agility? Why don't we get some questioning and some erudition in here? What was that sound? It sounded like a bunch of fires coming on, but these were already on, weren't they? Alright, so, Mom, okay, I guess there's blood coming from here. Was this open and you stuck your hand in there? And then your hand got cut off? Is that what was going on?
What on earth is that? A disc with information engraved in the metal? An iris that should open, I imagine, and blood.
Speak about the disc.
They're Roman numerals, Arab numbers, and town names.
Go on. I'm listening. What do you think?
Okay, think about the names of towns. Make the connection with the nails. Analyze the mechanism. There are some holes. If you're vigilant enough, you can notice that there are some holes. Let's analyze with my science.
Tell me, I imagine that once we've solved this enigma, the iris opens, right?
Exactly.
All right. We can use our science to make a connection with the nails.
How many nails are needed again?
3.
1 nail per type of information, I'm guessing.
In other words?
Well, a nail must be placed on each Roman numeral. 1 nail on an Arabic numeral and 1 nail on a town.
Well done, Louis.
Think about the names of towns.
All the town names mentioned have something to do with Christ, haven't they? Golgotha, Bethlehem, Nazareth.
Exactly.
2 points. Yeah, I guess we might as well notice that there are some holes.
On each engraved piece of information, there's a hole. Those are for the nails, right?
That's absolutely right.
All right. I don't know if it was worthwhile using the points to gain that information. Let's talk about the iris.
Did you succeed in opening this iris?
Yes, by putting the cross on the console and the 3 nails on the disc, the iris opens. It gives access to a hole where I put my hand, thinking I could fully open the iris. There's a handle at the bottom, and as you can see, it didn't turn out very well for me.
Okay, so her hand's in there. Speak about the blood. Hope this isn't Mother's blood.
Mother? The dried blood. There.
Yes, it's mine. Sorry if I stained everything, but I must admit that at the time my thoughts were more on the pain than cleaning up after myself.
All right. Gotta make sure that we don't repeat Mother's mistake. How does it work?
Tell me, Mother, you wouldn't know anything that might save me some time, would you?
That's where you'll have to put the Clement III cross. You insert the cross into the slot, and it will open the iris.
We'll just look ourselves.
Let's see if I can work it out myself. It looks like a kind of control panel.
There's a cross-shaped slot. Look, it looks like zero. That's nice and cheap.
It looks like certain mechanisms I've seen before. I wouldn't be surprised if I had to put the Clement III cross in it.
All right. Well, we're not spending a point on that.
You ought to go, Louis. If someone finds us here, the situation might well become seriously complicated.
Think someone's going to be coming down here? I mean, you should leave too if that's the case. All right. Well, we know that the cross is somewhere close by. Oh, it's over there.
Famous cross of Clement III. Perfect. And one key found.
I'm a lynx, apparently. Hey, Mom, I found your cross.
Why a cross?
Well, I haven't the foggiest idea, but it just so happens that's what you are going to use to activate the mechanism. I found the one
All right.
Mortimer kept. It belonged
what's
to
that?
Cardinal Guibert, better known by the name of Pope Clement III.
Yeah, this is the note Mom gave us.
But you lost it.
How do you know that?
Because I found it. Would you believe that?
Well done, my son. So you've already got one of the keys.
All right. Just wanted to see if they would say anything about it. All right. Cross. Sarah's note already found. Some nails. Mortimer took it back. We got to go back to the desk room to find it. Gutenberg Bible. Go back to Bible room. Exegesis of Judas. Go back to the secret room in the portrait gallery. Armillary sphere. And then there are dates. Oh, there's a key. Organon. Collection of treatises on the studying of reasoning and logical thinking. Get a skill point in logic. And it seems like we unlocked something here. What was that? It's profiler. It's not what did it just say? Not sure. Well, I guess Mom's going to continue to hang out here while we look around. I mean, you might think that they might be on guard, considering, the murder that happened. It probably should be fine. You probably just, stroll around casually. Oh, did something strange happen? Not that I know of. I'm not aware of any sort of murder that might have happened recently.
Right. It's definitely an armillary sphere, but I have to find one that I can take with me. Otherwise, I risk drawing too much attention to my comings and goings.
Oh, this is what he was talking about? Yeah, it's a little large to shove in our coat. Have we seen a smaller one? I don't remember seeing one. Well, maybe if we find the other things, maybe it'll just come up.
Right. Let's see if the statues are in place yet.
All right, let's see. How did this go? I had to look at the shield, because light's gonna get bounced.
That statue is not positioned correctly.
Oh, okay. It was just that one. That's easy. Apparently, we should not have opened Pandora's box, which was this over here. Mom says we'll have to take care of that later. No, it's unlocked. Convenient.
So that's the exegesis of Judas. I hope Mortimer doesn't read it very often, otherwise he's going to notice that someone's stolen it. But that's just too bad. I need it.
I mean, if he walks around in here, he's going to notice that one of the display objects is gone. I don't think there's anything he can do about this. Like, maybe we could take a book from the shelf and put it there. It's not going to hold up to scrutiny, but...
The Ring of the Nibelungs.
Oh, did I not look at this?
Mortimer is several centuries old. I don't see what part he has in this legend.
Yeah, I did not notice that ring the first time we were here.
Right. I've got what I need. Now let's not waste any more time.
Alright, so we gotta get to the Bible room. I think that was on the next floor. It's not, yeah, not the library. I think we do want to go upstairs. I think is it the tower room? It might be tower room.
Ah, Louis. Glad you're here.
Blasted. He's gonna talk about my mother.
Come and see what I've found.
Why do I have
There are pieces of paper in the ashes of the chimney. Someone's been burning something here.
Oh, you don't say!
He doesn't seem to want to speak to me about what happened between my mother and the Hillsborough sisters.
Show me a little.
Look, it's possible to distinguish two different writing styles.
The rest of the correspondence between my mother and Emma.
Someone tried to burn an exchange of messages. I'm certain. There must be more.
Shit. What on earth is he doing?
But he's investigating. We could manipulate. Or we could tell the truth. What is this, by the way? Disconcerted. Well, let's just chug something. Why are we disconcerted? Is it because we were surprised at finding George Washington here in the Bible room? Well, Mom said we can't necessarily trust Washington. He might be possessed by a demon. Well, let's use our manipulations.
If you want my opinion, a servant must have burnt some old papers. That's all.
Oh, he's immune. Immune to manipulation.
It made me think that you were trying to hide something, Louis. No, I'm sure there must be other hidden messages.
He won't let go. He's going to work his way back to the Bible if he continues.
Oh, is he here? There, he's over there. Okay. Got another one. Hold on, let me just, cure that. And that conversation with George was all kind of, disconcerting to me, apparently.
Dante's Paradise.
No, that's not
Raise
what we
your
want.
head and be reassured. For what comes up here from the mortal world must ripen in our rays.
Just make our way to steal a Bible without old George knowing. Oh, by the way, I guess that's useful that, we now know he has an immunity to manipulation. Maybe that'll come up later. Oh, by the way, speaking of which... Okay, yeah. So after the last part, someone mentioned that the way you're actually supposed to determine the difference between the two sisters is their immunities and vulnerabilities. So Emma, I never found a vulnerability, but she was immune to manipulation and questioning. Emily was immune to logic, but vulnerable to psychology. And apparently the way you're supposed to figure out who's who is by noticing that. So during the conversation, I did activate Emily's vulnerability to psychology, which would have confirmed which one she was. So I worked it out in another way, but this is apparently the proper way of doing it.
The Bible's still there.
Pocketed that Bible. Oh, did I open this box?
Chest with the occult symbol representing air.
Looks like I didn't. Some elixir. And more elixir. I used a couple, so that's good. Amber fragments. I always love some of that. Alright. Sure. Oh, George, it's so late. What a day it's been. We should probably get some sleep.
Hey, look, there.
No, I don't see anything.
Come, Louis, look. Someone's clearly drawn a 4 in the dust. I have a clue.
He's going to be disappointed when he sees the Bible's disappeared.
Alright, so he's doing the same puzzles we were when we were here. He's gonna be confused when he can't find a Bible. Alright, have fun with that, Mr. President. Okay, now we need to go up to... Is that the upstairs? Yeah, it is. Hopefully Mortimer is not in. I guess he's not. Can't talk to him.
Right. This time, it'll be a lot quicker. If I remember rightly, the code was 1191.
Oh, you're still gonna make me put it in. You could have just done that automatically. If you wanted it to be a lot quicker. Hello? I mean, Mortimer could be in here.
Of course.
Of course? Of course what? Alright, want to find the nails, which were over on this table.
There. Those are the nails I was looking for.
Analyze the nails with my occultism.
I noticed they were old and rusty, but I hadn't noticed these traces of... Could that be blood?
Really old blood.
Is it really the relic of the Holy Cross? I can hardly believe it.
Lick the nails. I mean, come on. You know you would. You know you would. I got Mortimer's nails. Alright, we have one thing to go. The armillary sphere. I don't suppose there's one in here. There's an iron mask.
Feathers.
We got feathers.
It's probably.
Got this. Right, Zeus, talking about Zeus. Right, this was the note talking about the guillotine. Change your old lock. Depending on the lineup of the wheels, the aforementioned lock will open or punish the snooper. It's called the Judgment of Faith. If the snooper is unable to resist opening it, they will be punished. Yeah?
Looks like obsidian or onyx. It must weigh a ton. What on earth could that be?
Now, come to think of it, did Mother ever say what this lever in that machine is supposed to do? Like, we're doing this for the purpose of keeping the thing open so I can pull the lever without my hand getting cut off. Do we know what it does?
A hand of tarot cards.
Read the hand with my occultism.
The Emperor, a symbol of power and stability. Temperance, which expresses a reward. And the Chariot, now that evokes triumph. If this hand is anything to go by, Mortimer's destiny promises to be glorious. Mortimer's interested in black magic. If Mortimer really is a demon, I wonder what he could be doing with all this.
Alright, it's got some different dialogue because we know about his demon ways.
Carmelite water will give me a little reprieve.
Who could Mortimer have locked in there?
Nothing?
A Van Leeuwenhoek microscope? The most sophisticated microscope there is. When I think of the difficulty the Order had in getting hold of one of these...
I wonder if we need to figure out where the sphere is in the house. Like, in the entire house. Or if, now that we've done the other things,
of Europe.
will
It's written 26 million.
something happen to bring it to us? Analyze.
It's the estimated population of France. Mortimer knows very well that France has a higher population than its neighbors. He's preparing for it to go to war and knows he can make it happen by stirring up the people. I'm standing in front of a lesson of absolute mastery in military strategy, which is absolutely spine-chilling if it turns out that Mortimer is a demon. Troops are directed towards Italy. I get the feeling that Piaggi's going to be in for a hard time.
Wow, what a tactical genius. France has a lot of people. I'm in awe of the military mind. Oh, there's always also this.
It's locked.
We don't know what this is. And the map does not show it.
The conference might be focused on the United States, but Mortimer has an eye everywhere, which is not very reassuring if he really is a demon.
Is there anything on the maps that we didn't see? All these notes, of course, we have already seen.
Human psyche.
There's like a little bit of an update to the dialogue. Linguistics level 1, sure, let's check it out.
Gilhelm Tremor. Tremor. An anagram of Mortimer.
Gasp!
Wow. Arrogant enough to publish writings on mental control in full view of everyone. I wonder who he's writing for.
The arrogance of this man. Publishing under a pen name.
If Mortimer really is what my mother says he is, this map of the world's slave traffic is even worse than I thought.
Slavery is even worse now, because of demons.
If Mortimer's plan succeeds, the United States will indeed double in size. It would mean the end of the Spanish presence in North America.
Alright, I think that's everything. Didn't seem like there was anything else we could click on. I guess let's leave and see if the sphere we need will just end up showing up at some point. Alright, I think it was 6466.
All right, come on.
Oh, he's gonna say it, yeah.
6466, if I remember correctly.
Oh, hey, he just did it automatically. Great.
A painting. It looks unfinished. A piece by Lord Mortimer, I presume. A rather avant-garde technique. The Titan against men. How ironic.
It is ironic, isn't it? I am overwhelmed with the layers of irony.
Dante's Purgatory. Why does your mind presume to flight when you're still like the imperfect grub, the worm before it's attained its final form? Charming.
Alright. Now we got these things. Where do we go next? Someplace that would have this sphere. I don't remember seeing one, is the problem. So, does that just mean we're gonna be trying all the rooms until we find one? I feel like there must be something more, some other clue that we could get instead of just going into every room. But I don't know what else we're working with, what else we have, what other clue or...
Sur Jacques Perru?
Well, he won't mind if he has one. Like, he wouldn't be using it, so... Might as well check out his room and see if he just has one lying around. Sure, unlock it.
Great. Honey.
Ooh, royal jelly. Well, let me use my royal jelly.
Great. Honey.
And get the royal jelly. I might assume if there's one lying around that we could take,
Dear Monsieur.
that...
Space left. I'll retrieve it later.
I assume if there is one lying around that we would not have been able to, take it previously. Would it just be in a regular room? Or would it be in a special room? What does our note say? Yeah, just question marks.
Monsieur Napoleon Bonaparte.
Go outside. Nothing lying around out here. Let's Back into Napoleon's room. Don't know if I can actually get into Emily's room from here again. Maybe that's locked at this point. No? I guess we can.
A letter from William Pitt the Younger, addressed to Emily. He's the present Prime Minister of the United Kingdom. Emily has indeed some powerful backers. A devil's thorn, to be used to uncover the best disguised traits.
Dear E, I received your last letter. Unfortunately, the Crown informed the Golden Order that our mission should under no circumstances hamper Sir Gregory's plans. Decidedly, they have support from the highest level in Buckingham Palace. So here we both are, hands and feet tied, and little room to maneuver. Keep me abreast of events. Our mission is becoming more complicated. Yours, E. T.S. The French chapter of the Order doesn't appear to know anything about the arrival of our friend Sarah. I therefore cannot comment on it. However, my guess is that she has come here for personal reasons.
All right. Well, we did not read this note before because, of course, the whole cutscene happened when we walked into this area. But apparently it says that the monarchy directly is ordering Emily to not hamper Holmes' plans, which is why she's voting with him. But who knows, maybe after being so upset about the sister's death, maybe we can change your mind about it.
Grammar of Port-Royal. Ah, the artistry of the French language in all its splendor. Whoever masters French commands the world. At least une partie of it.
All right, I'm just going to take this book with me, shove it in my jacket. It's in linguistics. Exhaustive work on linguistics. All right, I guess there's no one out in front of the door. We can just walk in and out of the murder site. All right, so that's Emily's room. Did I skip any rooms? Going from Napoleon's to there.
Monsieur Napoleon Bonaparte.
No. Again, I don't know if we've gotten any clues about where this sphere is. Which is why I'm just looking everywhere.
Duke Manuel Godoy.
And we're seeing like a few new things here and there. Like, these are areas we've been in before.
Don Quixote. Talking without thinking is like shooting without taking aim. I'm gonna have to think about that one.
Oh, collector coin.
Brutus and his companions taking an oath to kill Caesar.
There's stuff out here, but I don't see an orb. We are orbless still. Mom's waiting for us all this time, and we can't even find a simple orb. Sphere, I should say. An armillary sphere. Can't find one.
Duke Manuel Godoy.
Well, we need to find one if we don't want our hand chopped off like Mom.
Huh, that's me.
Me. Did I have one in my room the whole time?
Inferno by Dante. Abandon hope, all ye who enter here. Lovely lectures Mortimer's giving to his guests. Very jolly.
Dear Monsieur de Richet, please excuse me, but I am unable to join you at present. However, rest assured that we are doing all we can to resolve the case that concerns us. By the way, enclosed, you will find a key that will enable you to retrieve the personal effects your mother left behind. Yours faithfully, Lord William Mortimer.
Oh, let me use some more. Splorch.
Great. Honey.
Great. We go outside. Nothing out here. I mean, we were making some pretty good progress until we got to this sphere. And then we saw the big sphere, and it said, well, I can't take that. I'm going to have to find a small sphere.
Monseigneur, His Eminence Cardinal Piaggi.
Oh, he's in here. Cardinal, I don't suppose you have a small, portable armillary sphere in here?
I have no time to lose, so I might as well not bother him.
Yeah, we're not going to talk to him.
My dear Giuseppe, poor health forbids me from joining you. Please thank Sir Gregory for his invitation to Lord Mortimer's. I'm convinced you'll be able to strengthen our agreements. Please tell Sir Gregory that his enterprise concerning our friend, Cardinal Bishop Chiaramonti, is following its course. I place my trust in you. May God bless you and give you protection. SS Giovanni Angelico Braschi.
Yep. More royal jelly. Honey.
John the Baptist, Youth with a Ram, by Caravaggio. A very sensual vision and very far from the usual representations of St. John.
Extremely sensual. Search with my vigilance? Why not?
Amber crystals.
Amber.
Love Triumphant, by Caravaggio. Now there's someone for whom the sex of angels is no mystery. Venus and Cupid with a satyr, by Correggio. Innocence, indiscretion, and lechery. Giuseppe must love that.
Golden elixir. So, Piaggi, you got like...
No time to lose, so I might as well not bother him.
You got the room with the really hot paintings, huh? Okay, I just can't talk to him at all. No, I cannot. You gotta figure that, like, some of this stuff is going bad, just lying out here in the hallway. I think I must have done most of the rooms on this floor.
President George Washington.
Well, he's not here because, of course, he's searching the Bible room. I wonder if there was, like, a scene, maybe, where the sphere, like, was in the background of a cutscene. That maybe I was supposed to notice it. Oh, that key's gone. Remember there was a key here that I couldn't take? Not here now. George must have taken it. remember. That was 4 pieces, I think. Oh, hey. That looks like an armory. Whose room am I in? Von Volner? It looks like he had the sphere. Just lying there.
Sphere. Perfect. That will save me some time. I only hope that he isn't going to realize it right away.
He'll walk in here and be very upset that his precious sphere is gone. All right. We found it. Let's head downstairs. I mean, I had to search around a whole bunch of rooms before I found that, but, you know, at the same time, we did get some items. You know, we picked some stuff up on the way.
What can I do for you, sir? I am at your service day and night, sir.
Could you help me out?
As I was unable to bring my personal effects with me, I was wondering if you could find me a few items.
Of course, sir. What would you require?
I think I'm full up, honestly. No need in to gaslight him out of his stuff again. Oh, it's Napoleon. This reminds me of the ending of Crying Is Not Enough. The general just standing there stock still, staring at the fireplace. Will I turn out to have a bomb in my stomach?
Not too shocked.
I beg your pardon?
About Peru this morning. I asked you if you weren't too shocked by it all.
Yes, no. And what does he think about diversion? We don't know about diversion. And I'm not going to answer your question and reverse it back at you.
And yourself? Not too shook up?
The only thing that matters to me about that stupid man Peru is the disastrous situation in which it puts us for the conference vote. I wonder why Mortimer even allowed him to roam around the manor armed. He was a veritable public danger.
Indeed. You don't seem to be too affected. Tell me. I was wondering.
Oh, we could have gotten hints about that from Napoleon.
I won't keep you any longer. See you later, monsieur.
I had no idea Napoleon was our hint man on this. Maybe he could have said that Von Volner is the type who might want to have a sphere in his room. Here's the door. Alright, we found the stuff. Hopefully Mom's right, and this will mean that our hand won't get cut off. So Mom's track record of not getting her hand cut off is pretty poor. But she says that this should work.
So, good. You've managed to gather all the keys.
Yes, that's right. I have everything. What should I start with?
Place the Clement III cross on the console. Then you have to put the nails on the disc of the door.
What did you choose?
What theme did you start with?
As the fresco shows the birth of Christ, I placed one nail in Bethlehem, one in chapter 2, and one in verse 6. The iris opened a little. I thought it was normal. Behind the aperture of the iris, there is a duct in which I put my hand. I felt something like a valve at the bottom. I thought by turning it the door would open, or the iris would open completely, or something else would happen. Instead, I felt something like an axe cut off my hand. I really thought it was the end of me.
What did you do then?
Well, although I had made some unfortunate choices, I was lucky in that Mortimer was well stocked with drugs. I raided his supplies of medicine.
Gulping down golden elixir and Carmelite water, mixing devil's thorn and bits of amber. Where should I put these nails?
What hole should I put the nails in?
Well, I can't really advise you there, because I haven't exactly made the best choices myself. All I can say is that you have to insert 1 to choose a town, 1 to choose a chapter, and 1 to choose a verse.
All right. Town, chapter, verse.
All right. My turn now.
Go ahead. Impress me. I'll shut up and let you concentrate.
All right, there that is. What are those sounds happening? Well, they're not happening now. Oh. Took too much royal jelly, apparently. Let's do that. There we go. Yes, a theme, then insert nails and door. Mm-hmm.
The cycle of the moons has nothing to do with what I'm doing right now.
Yeah. I mean, I assume we're going to use that for something.
This exegesis contains comments from Judas on the different Gospels. It only contains certain chapters and verses, and the chapters are indicated by Roman numerals. The lexicon refers to different chapters and verses from the exegesis of Judas.
Themes? What about our note? Correspondence of dates. I don't know. So we have to decide on a theme. Towns? Themes? We have 8 themes to choose from.
Chapter 1, verse 9. Jesus was baptized by John in Jordan on the 9th of Hesvan, 3852.
Okay, once we decide on a theme, then I guess we get the town and the date.
Chapter 1, verse 9. And it came to pass in those days that Jesus came from Nazareth of Galilee, and was baptized by John in Jordan. And coming up out of the water, he saw the heavens opened, and the Spirit like a dove descending upon him.
Crucifixion.
Chapter 19, verse 17. Jesus was crucified on the 8th of Nisan, 3793, in a place near Jerusalem. The Romans put a crown of thorns on his head. Chapter 19, verse 17. And he, bearing his cross, went forth into a place called the place of a skull, which is called in the Hebrew Golgotha, where they crucified him, and 2 others with him, on either side, and Jesus in the midst.
And you know who one of those 2 others were. A very large, very special man. Supper? Yeah, I think that the theme should be supper.
Chapter 14, verse 22. On the 7th of Nisan, 3793, Jesus shared his Last Supper in the Cenacle in Jerusalem. Chapter 14, verse 22. And as they did eat, Jesus took bread and blessed and broke it, and gave to them and said, Take, eat. This is my body. And he took the cup, and when he'd given thanks, he gave it to them, and they all drank of it.
Okay, what about judgment?
Chapter 10, verse 30. I and the Father are one. Chapter 10, verse 30. I and my Father are one.
And okay, next thematics. Miracles.
Chapter 5, verse 2. Jesus cures the sick and lame on the 8th of Adar, 3791, in Jerusalem, at the pool of Bethesda. All stand and fling away their canes. Chapter 5, verse 2. Now, there is at Jerusalem, by the sheep market, a pool, which is called, in the Hebrew tongue, Bethesda, having 5 porches. In these lay a great multitude of impotent folk, of the blind, halting, and withered, waiting for the moving of the water. Jesus saith unto him, Rise, take up thy bed, and walk. And immediately the man was made whole, and took up his bed, and walked. And on the same day was the Sabbath.
How about birth?
Chapter 2, verse 6. Jesus was born of Mary and Joseph on the 22nd of Taveth at midnight, 3762, in the village of Bethlehem. Chapter 2, verse 6. And so it was that, while they were there, the days were accomplished that she should be delivered of a child. And she brought forth her firstborn son, and wrapped him in swaddling clothes, and laid him in a manger, because there was no room for them in the inn. And there were in the same country shepherds abiding in the field, keeping watch over their flock by night. And lo, the angel of the Lord came upon them, and the glory of the Lord shone round about them, and they were sore afraid. Chapter 14, verse 22.
I can't skip that.
On the 7th of Nisan,
Didn't mean to click that one.
790.
I guess we can't.
Jesus shared his last supper.
Yeah, I guess we can't go by it.
Chapter 3, verse 18. Words truly pronounced in Abagash. Chapter 3, verse 18. He that believeth in him is not condemned, but he that believeth not is condemned already, because he hath not believed in the name of the only begotten Son of God.
All right, Mom, remind me which one you chose.
What theme did you start with?
As the fresco shows the birth of Christ, I placed 1 nail in Bethlehem, 1 in chapter 2, and 1 in verse 6. The iris opened a little. I thought it was normal. Behind the aperture of the iris, there is a duct in which I put my hand. I felt something like a valve at the bottom. I thought by turning it the door would open, or the iris would open completely, or something else would happen. Instead, I felt something like an axe cut off my hand. I really thought it was the end of me.
What did you do then?
Drugs,
Although
yep, we know.
I made some unfortunate choices, I was lucky in that Mortimer was well stocked with drugs. I raided his supplies of medicine.
All right, so she chose birth because of this up here. I guess that means we should not choose birth. Let's take a closer look. There's what appears to be a rooster right there. We gotta find the passage that refers to poultry. There's a bird. Angels looking down. Look at that baby. That's what they're saying. The proud mother. And guys over here. A sheep, maybe? Oh, a lamb. Right, the lamb. Yes. And Inri, which would have been, you know, on the cross above his head. I mean, I see what Mom means when she says that she looks like that the theme here is about birth. But that didn't work for her. And also, what do we do with this? Well, maybe there's like a second half.
Cycle of the moons has nothing to do with what I'm doing right now.
Well, maybe there's like a second half of this in which that will become apparent. So we have Nazareth, Bethlehem, Bethesda, Abagosh, Jordan, Jerusalem, and Golgotha. We have 8 themes. Baptism, crucifixion, supper, judgment.
Chapter 14.
Nope. Meant to
22.
Meant to click on next again.
Nisan 3793. Jesus shared his last supper in the cenacle in Jerusalem.
Miracles, birth, resurrection, Trinity. Actually, if I was doing...
Chapter 14.
I keep clicking on that one.
2.
That's like the third time I've done that.
Nisan 3000.
Like, I meant to click on what's below it.
Jesus shared his last...
And then I click that one by accident. And it keeps happening. It keeps happening. Alright, so what I wanted to do was... Let's say I wanted to do birth. Would I have come to the same conclusion as Mom did?
Chapter 2, verse 6. Jesus was born of Mary and Joseph on the 22nd of Teveth at midnight, 3762, in the village of Bethlehem.
What does the Gutenberg Bible say about that?
Chapter 2, verse 6. And so it was that while they were there, the days were accomplished that she should be delivered of a child. And she brought forth her firstborn son, and wrapped him in swaddling clothes, and laid him in a manger, because there was no room for them in the inn. And there were in the same country...
All right, we know what it is.
...the field, keeping watch over their flock by night.
All right. No, that's fine. That's fine.
The Lord came upon them, and the glory of the Lord shone round about them, and they were sore afraid.
And they said, it's my birthday, I'm just a little guy, please. Alright, consult the notes. We got a date of 22 Teveth. I don't see that here. But it was, the verse was 2:6. Date was 22 Teveth. Town was Bethlehem.
What?
And she chose...
As the fresco shows the birth of Christ, I placed 1 nail in Bethlehem, 1 in chapter 2, and 1 in verse 6.
That was the verse and that was the town that we saw.
Of the iris, there is a duct in which
maybe like the date is going to be about a second phase of the puzzle. We have to figure out the first.
The iris would open completely.
Or maybe she did solve the first phase of it. Maybe maybe she didn't realize that there was a second one.
Thought it was the end of me.
What did you do?
I guess that could be possible that maybe she actually did get the first one right.
I was lucky in that Mortimer was well stocked with drugs. I raided his supplies of medicine.
What hole should I put the nails in?
Well, I can't really advise you there, because I haven't exactly made the best choices myself. All I can say is that you have to insert 1 to choose a town, 1 to choose a chapter, and 1 to choose a verse.
Alright, so if I interact with this, will I notice anything new? Analyze the fresco.
The fresco clearly shows the birth of Christ.
Louis, I can assure you that that is not the solution to this enigma. This fresco's only purpose is to mislead. I know that now. Please, focus on another theme about Christ.
We'll have to trust her.
Okay. 0 points because of my occultism.
Yes, it's definitely a representation of the birth of Christ, but some of the details have flaked away. I can't see any other clues. One thing is for sure, this enigma deals with the life of Jesus, like my mother said.
Notice the details. It's only 2 points.
You could see that the paint has come off in parts. Difficult to see what was there, but I can distinguish the letters N-R-I. Nothing more.
Yeah, but you know what those... Okay, you understand what that is. 0 points for using occultism. My linguistics is not that good enough, though. So let's use occultism to understand what that means.
Why, of course. They're part of the initials I-N-R-I that you can find on the cross of Jesus at his crucifixion.
A theme idea. Can I chug one of these? We can. Let's deduce a theme idea.
If Mortimer deliberately set a trap by showing the birth of Christ, then maybe the solution is the contrary. The death of Christ in that case?
How devious, Mortimer. What a devil indeed. Analyze the whole ass door.
It looks like there are 3 types of inscriptions.
Let's recognize the towns.
These towns have one thing in common. They're all related to the life and death of Jesus. For example, Jordan is the place of the baptism of Christ.
Wow, my logic is so bad, I need to add 3 points onto that to use it. Let's read the inscription. Nice and cheap with 1 point.
Clearly, we have names of towns, Arabian numerals, and Roman numerals.
All right, let's chug before doing this one.
There are 3 styles of writing, and I've got 3 nails. There must be a link. I must surely put in 1 nail per category.
That was not worth those points. Mom told us that. That's not anything new. All right. Okay, so I was thinking about it, and I guess they're just telling you, hey, those letters are associated with the death of Christ. And Mortimer's a demon. Maybe he had this fresco painted of the birth of Christ, but because he's a demon, the answer's actually the opposite. Okay. I guess that's what this is.
Chapter 19, verse 17. Jesus was crucified on the 8th of Nisan, 3793, in a place near Jerusalem. The Romans put a crown of thorns on his head.
And the Gutenberg Bible?
Chapter 19, verse 17. And he, bearing his cross, went forth into a place called the place of a skull, which is called in the Hebrew Golgotha, where they crucified him, and 2 others with him, on either side, and Jesus in the midst.
All right, and I guess that's why the puzzle is using the nails from the true cross. It all ties together, you understand. Insert the nails. Oh, okay. So he said 1917. Well, the first one said Jerusalem, but the Gutenberg Bible mentions that it gets taken to Golgotha. Here's the moons. Mom, you didn't notice the moon phases here? Were you not aware of the second phase, Mother?
It works.
Well done, Louis. I hadn't seen those other wheels. Try connecting the theme to see if it goes all the way.
You didn't see them. They're right here in front of my face, Mother. Analyze the inside wheels.
There must surely be a connection between the wheels.
Analyze the wheel of the icons.
There are different icons on this wheel, but it looks like some of them can't be connected to the other wheels.
Mom?
Mother, what do you think?
As I told you, I didn't get that far. Nevertheless, these icons do represent moments in the life of Christ.
Oh, maybe because she got it wrong on the first phase, this one never shows up? I guess that's what it is. I like how bad I am at logic. Makes things more expensive. I can recognize the icons. I mean, I don't need to spend points on that. This is Phases of the Moon. I don't need to spend 2 points to know that. The Wheel of the Dates?
This wheel contains...
Oh wait, you're talking about the icons on the third wheel.
2 figures and 1 letter. The highest figure does not exceed 31, and each letter corresponds to a month of the year. A for April, and M for March. I think these symbols must represent a specific date.
Alright, we have our note. We have our note here. Okay, so now let's look at the moons.
This wheel represents the different moons.
Symbol of moons.
In the occult sciences, we represent the full moon by an X. As for the dark moon, called the new moon, in cults, it's often associated with something harmful.
Analyze the moons. Nah, it's fine. Look at the mechanism.
Look at this. There are notches between each of the wheels. So, I have to link the name of the town from the theme I've chosen to an icon, then to a date, and finally, the date to the moon.
All right, let's go back and look at the sphere. Any information now? Study the sphere.
During new moon, the moon is entirely in the shadow. Then, the shadow moves from west to east, meaning left to right, and goes through the following states: waxing crescent, first quarter, waxing gibbous, full moon, waning gibbous, last quarter, waning crescent, and the cycle starts over with the full shadowed new moon.
Let's focus on the moon.
The moon shadow moves from west to east.
Let's test the moon. Choose a date. We have a few. We have 9 dates to choose from.
7th of Shaban, 607, first quarter.
You just said it out loud.
8th of Ramadan, 553.
Okay, we're not moving it or anything. We're just saying what the phase is. All right. So, let's see. Our theme. Oh, by the way, what is this? No, not this one. Oh, can I just interact with it from here? Yeah, I can. Okay. So the theme is a crucifixion, towns. It's not mentioning Golgotha, but I think the one that was near it was Jerusalem.
Chapter 14, verse 22. On the 7th of Nisan, 3793, Jesus shared his Last Supper in the Cenacle in Jerusalem. Chapter 14, verse 22. And as they did eat, Jesus took bread and blessed and broke it, and gave to them and said, "Take, eat. This is my body." And he took the cup, and when he'd given thanks, he gave it to them, and they all drank of it.
There was another one for Jerusalem.
Chapter 5, verse 2. Jesus cures the sick and lame on the 8th of Adar, 3791, in Jerusalem, at the pool of Bethesda. All stand and fling away their canes.
No, that's not the one we want. We want the Last Supper, which said it was 7 Nisan. So we have 8 Nisan, which would be the next day, which would be the crucifixion. So 8 Nisan, according to this, is March 26 March 33. There's also an 8 Nisan 3 below it. All right. When we're looking at these icons, analyze the inside wheels. Yeah. Analyzing these icons, I thought we were talking about the moon, but we're talking about these on the outside. All right. Look at the icons.
I think I can make out each one of the icons apart from the one covered in blood. Going clockwise from the one I just mentioned, we have the halo that represents the resurrection. The waves represent the baptism of Jesus. It's more difficult to identify the next one. Maybe a crib, and in that case it's surely linked to the birth of Christ. The red herring that my mother followed. Then, the symbol represents the crown of thorns that Jesus wore during his crucifixion. The dove also represents the baptism. Certainly another red herring. Then comes the symbol of the Trinity. And finally, the candle that must stand for the Last Supper.
Okay, so we're looking at the crown. And then we have Wheel of Dates.
This wheel contains several symbols made up of 1 or 2 figures and 1 letter. The highest figure does not exceed 31, and each letter corresponds to a month of the year. A for April, and M for March. I think these symbols must represent a specific date.
So 8 Nisan is 26 March, which is on here. You also have 8 Nisan 3, which is 8A, which is also on here. So 8 Nisan, 26 March. Assuming it's 26 March, we'd be lining it up with the Crown of Thorns, and then we need to find out what phase of the moon it is. So we also would want to turn the icon. So I guess we'd be turning it towards the name of a town. We can turn that towards Golgotha. Turn the Wheel of the Dates. I mean, now 26M is pointing towards the crown. What about the phase of the moon? Well, the one I'm interested in doesn't seem to be here.
The moon's shadow moves from west to east.
During new moon, the moon is entirely in the shadow. Then, the shadow moves from west to east, meaning left to right, and goes through the following states. Waxing crescent, first quarter, waxing gibbous, full moon, waning gibbous, last quarter, waning crescent, and the cycle starts over with a full shadowed new moon.
All right. Do we need to? Is there a reason that we need to know the order of it? Is that because it's not actually giving me the date? It's giving me another date, so I have to figure out from that what the phase during the actual date I want is? The only thing I'm a bit puzzled, one thing I'm puzzled about is that on these dates, one of them is 8 Nisan, the other is 8 Nisan 3. I don't know which one of those I want. see. Does 7th of Shaban mentioned here? No. 8th of Ramadan. Oh, the middle ones. Yeah. 7th. Okay, 7th of Shaban is 8 Nisan. I was looking at the third column. It's actually the second column we're looking at. Sixth of Rahab is here. And again, I don't know which one of those I want. So let's see. 7th of Shaban, 7 Shaban, 607.
7th of Shaban, 607, first quarter.
Is the first quarter.
6th of Rajab, 611, waxing crescent.
So that one's waxing crescent.
The moon shadow moves from west to east.
West to east.
During new moon, the moon is entirely in the shadow. Then, the shadow moves from west to east.
West to east.
Meaning left to right, and goes through the following states. Waxing crescents, first quarter, waxing gibbous, full moon, waning gibbous, last quarter, waning crescent, and the cycle starts over with a full shadowed new moon.
All right, so we're moving from left to right, starting from new moon. The first one I have is first quarter, and the second one I have is waxing crescent. But the order is new moon, waxing crescent, first quarter. The problem is I still don't know which one of those two dates I actually want here.
Waning gibbous, last quarter, waning crescent, and the cycle starts over with a full shadowed new moon.
All right. Turn the moons. So I'm looking for first quarter. Do you think of the phases they're showing here, dark represents, darkness, and light represents the part of the moon you can see, right? You'd assume that. You'd assume that's how it works. So, I have Crown of Thorns, 26M, and first quarter lined up with Golgotha. Mom, what do you think about that? No, she doesn't have anything new. So it could be that. Again, just the thing So it said that the Last Supper was on 7 Nisan, which is why I'm saying, 8 Nisan must be the crucifixion, right? But if we look at this list of the dates, there are 2 8 Nisans. There's 8 Nisan and 8 Nisan 3. Those are different dates. And they're both on here. So, if it's actually 8 Nisan 3, it would actually be lined up with April 8th and the waxing crescent. Those should be lined up with Crown and Golgotha. We could just confirm our information before we do anything. We know we want towns. So, let's see. Golgotha's not here, but Jerusalem is because that's where the Last Supper was. So this was in this verse.
14, verse 22.
Mm-hmm.
On the 7th of Nisan, 3793.
3793.
He shared his Last Supper in the Cynical in Jerusalem.
So we did get a year. Only one of them mentions a year, which is the bottom one. That's April the 1st. 14 Nisan. And then again, it says 14 Nisan 3793 is 1 April 33. 8 Nisan is 26 March 33. And those are the same year, I guess. Like, it doesn't say the year next to 8 Nisan. But when you, I guess when you match them up with our calendar, I guess the years match, so maybe it is 26 March. So once again, just one more time, the number of icons, I don't think that really gives us anything. Sarah cannot give us advice about this. She didn't get this far.
As I told you,
she did not get this far.
That far. Nevertheless, these icons do represent moments in the life of Christ.
We do recognize the icons.
I think I can make out each one of the icons.
Just to make sure.
Apart from the one covered in blood. Going clockwise.
Halo's Resurrection.
We have the
with only one R instead of 2 R's instead of 3.
Baptism of Jesus.
Waves of baptism.
It's more difficult to identify the next.
Crib's birth. Maybe. He's not really sure about that.
In that case, it's surely linked to the birth of Christ. The red herring that my mother followed. Then
Crown of Thorns, which is crucifixion, and we are assuming that
Jesus
crucifixion is the theme. We're assuming that.
Also represents the baptism. Certainly another red herring.
So really, Crown of Thorns is the only one we're interested in.
And finally, the candle that must stand for the Last Supper.
So, we did that. That's why we think Crown of Thorns. We line that up with Golgotha, which is the place. The date, 26 March, which is 8 Nisan, the day after the Last Supper. Assuming that's correct. And then we were talking about the phases of the moon, which we will hear about one more time, just one more time, just to make sure. Just to make sure.
During new moon,
left to right.
The moon is entirely in the shadow.
Entirely in shadow. Now we move left to right.
West to east, meaning left to right, and goes through the following states. Waxing crescents, first quarter, waxing gibbous, full moon, waning gibbous, last quarter, waning crescent, and the cycle starts over with the full shadowed new moon.
So when we look at what we have here, here's new moon, moving from left to right. This should be it, lined up with these.
Look at this. There are notches between each of the wheels. So, I have to link the name of the town from the theme I've chosen to an icon, then to a date, and finally, the date to the moon.
We worked that out, Louis. The only thing I'm not really sure about is the time, the year. Because depending on which year we're talking about, it's a different date. But I'm pretty confident about the other things that we've done. I think this is about as much as I can do with the information we've been given. I think it's time to stick our hand in and find out finally if we truly have surpassed Mom.
I can feel the lever at the bottom.
Good luck.
Like, maybe we should, we could find a tool, right? We could, get, some sort of tool that we could shove in there. I guess we're not doing that, though. You think we could do that? Pull the lever or take out arm. All right. Pull the lever. leave it in.
Louis!
Nope, I guess not. Nope, I failed. I got all the keys that my mother asked me to find. I found my mother's lost cross. I found out that George Washington was still investigating the disappearance of my mother. I unlocked the first wheel of the crypt door, but I failed. I got my arm cut off by the mechanism of the crypt. Alternate paths. I could have reviewed the conference results with Manuel Godoy. Oh no. Well, I guess the date must have been wrong. There was like more than one option, so I chose the one that I think was right, but clearly it wasn't. It looked like I could have quickly removed the it looked like I could have quickly removed the hand, but I didn't have enough points to do that. So, and there was a very quick time limit. Like, I guess it's possible to chug the Carmelite water and then remove the hand in time. Maybe it is. I'm not sure. Maybe it is. In any case, gave that my best shot, and it wasn't good enough. But on the plus side, now Louis is going to be even more injured than he was before. That's something. We have 4 points. Let's see, what can 4 points buy us right now? Things are getting more expensive. I could go up a level in etiquette. I could go up a level in linguistics. I could go up a level in agility. Could go up 1 in logic. Also vigilance. Also questioning. My logic, I think, was the one that was quite low. Like, I think that was low enough that logic options cost me more points than the baseline because my logic is so bad. Maybe we should level this one up. There we go. And that is the end of episode 3. Well. Oh well, sorry Louis, sorry. Well, I guess you and your mom will be able to bond over both of you having your hand cut off. Well, I mean, I guess that means we're not going to be able to do whatever it was that it would have let us do. Like, I think Mother was assuming that a door would have opened if we could have done that. But I guess that's not happening now, right? I mean, I guess Louis always does have a second hand. Probably not. Probably not. I wonder if that could be a big change in the direction of the plot, because instead of having 2 hands and finding whatever this super secret room is, we don't find the room and Louis only has 1 hand now. Now we have to talk to Mortimer, and he's gonna ask us what happened to our hand, and we're gonna be like, oh, you know, things happen, you party too hard, you lose a hand. Happens to all of us, right? I don't know how he's gonna explain this one. Louis is strong with subterfuges. I'm sure he can do it. Well, episode 3 out of 5 is now completed. We did not learn any more about demons. This entire chapter was just, Mom tells us to go find a few things, then we go find those things, and it took a while to find the sphere, because I didn't know where that was, and I didn't know that Napoleon could have given us a hint. And then after that, we have this puzzle, and that's it. Like, that's the entirety of the chapter. It just took me a while because of, you know, finding the sphere and then trying to do the puzzle, which I failed to do. But I gave it an honest shot. The next one, as we enter episode 4, is the Spearhead, whatever that means. But Mom is in the background of this chapter. Will Mom play a more prominent part in episode 4? I guess we'll find out next time as we continue on with the council. And Louis is just he's gonna have to come up with an explanation for what happened to that hand. We'll see what he comes up with next time.